The last stop. Before midnight. The Appalachian backroads of West Virginia had a way of swallowing people. The fog was thick, almost unnaturally so, and the two-lane highway Josh Whitaker was driving felt more like a corridor carved into the woods than a public road. He hadn't passed another car in over an hour. Josh leaned forward over the wheel of his aging Dodge Ram, squinting at the road signs, or what was left of them. Most were faded or peppered with bullet holes. He rolled his eyes. Real welcoming, he muttered. His dashboard clock read 11:23 p.m. He was supposed to be back in Charleston by 10, but a wrong turn off Route 33 and a busted GPS had pushed him into this dead zone of forgotten American highway. He had no cell signal, no gas stations, no towns, just trees, endless and oppressive, leaning over the road like they were listening. His headlights cut through the rain like twin flashlights in a tunnel. Everything beyond them was pitch black. Josh was no stranger to long nights. He had served in the Marines, done midnight patrols through darker places than this. But something about tonight had his gut clenching in a way he hadn't felt since Kandahar. The truck gave a sudden lurch. Josh blinked and looked at the dashboard. The engine light blinked once, then all the lights died. The power steering cut out. He coasted to a stop on the gravel shoulder. Engine dead. Radio silent. Wipers frozen mid-swipe. Josh sat in stunned silence for a moment. Then, "You have got to be kidding me." He twisted the key. Nothing. Again. Still nothing. He reached for his phone. No bars. Just SOS in the top corner of the screen. The rain tapped harder on the windshield like impatient fingers. He sat there, breathing shallowly, the cab slowly filling with cold. Then, through the fog, something flickered. Red neon. Far ahead, just beyond the curtain of trees, a soft buzz, barely visible at first, like a cigarette ember in the dark. Josh grabbed his rain jacket from the passenger seat, pulled the hood up, and stepped out. His boots crunched wet gravel as he made his way toward the glow. With each step, the shape became clearer. Chrome siding, a faded awning, and a classic neon sign buzzing through the rain. The Last Stop Cafe. Open all night. The diner looked like it had been plucked straight out of 1958 and dropped here by mistake. Rounded corners, checkerboard tile, rusted siding. The red neon letters flickered faintly. One of the bulbs in stop had burnt out, making it read the Lafayette stop. Josh hesitated. The diner stood in the middle of nowhere. No driveway, no parking lot, just forest, no sound except the rain and the soft hum of electricity. He stepped inside. A bell over the door jingled softly as he entered. Instantly the warmth hit him. Heavy, almost too warm, like the air had been recycled for hours. Soft jazz played from a dusty jukebox in the corner. The diner was pristine, oddly untouched by time. Red leather booths, long chrome counter, napkin dispensers on every table. The fluorescent lights overhead buzzed gently, occasionally flickering. A waitress stood behind the counter. Pale blue dress, white apron, blonde hair pinned into a bun. She didn't smile. "Coffee?" she asked in a flat voice. Josh nodded slowly. "Sure. Phone I can use?" The woman didn't respond. She poured a cup of coffee and slid it across the counter. Josh glanced around. The place was empty. Not a single customer. No cooks behind the kitchen window. Just him and her. He sat cautiously and took a sip. Bitter. Burnt. Like it had been sitting for hours. "You sure this place is open?" he asked. "We're always open," she replied, without looking up. Josh's unease deepened. He shifted on the stool, then noticed a man at the far end of the counter. He hadn't seen him come in. Middle-aged, grey beard, flannel shirt, worn boots. He sat hunched over a mug, unmoving. "Truck trouble," the man said without looking up. Josh startled. "Yeah? Battery's dead, I think." "Always is, around this time." Josh frowned. "You mean this happens a lot?" The man finally turned toward him. His eyes were strange, almost milky, but not blind. Like they reflected light the wrong way. "You're not the first," Josh swallowed. "Right. So, about that phone?" "No phone here," the waitress said again, still not looking at him. "No need." Josh pushed back from the counter. "Okay, this place is weird. I'm gonna go." "You can try," said the man in flannel. "But you're already on the clock." Josh blinked. "What?" "Check the time." Josh pulled his phone out. 11:47 p.m. "You got 13 minutes left," the man added. "After that, you're not going anywhere." Josh forced a laugh. "Look, I don't know what kind of Twin Peaks cult cosplay this is, but I'm leaving." He turned and opened the door and stepped out into blackness. No rain, no wind, no trees, just void. He gasped and stumbled backward. He was still inside the diner. The door had opened, but not to the road he came from. The waitress was smiling now, wide, too wide. He ran to the back of the diner through the kitchen. Nothing. Just more corridors. Stainless steel freezers humming loudly. Stale bread on racks. No exit. No back door. He found a walk-in pantry. Opened it. A staircase. Leading down. Josh slammed the door shut. Ran back to the dining area. Now the booths were full. Each one had someone sitting in it. Silent, staring straight ahead. Like wax figures. Men, women, kids. Different ages, different decades judging by their clothes. One booth had a man in a military uniform from the 1940s. Another had a teenage girl in a grunge hoodie from the 90s. Josh's breath caught in his throat. He turned back to the man in flannel. "What the hell is this place?" "A holdover," he said. "A way station. Some folks call it purgatory. I think it's something older. Something that feeds." "Feeds?" "On the people who take the wrong road, who stop too long, who ignore the warnings." Josh's voice shook. "I just wanted to get home." The man looked at him with genuine sadness. "Most of us did." The lights flickered. The clock on the wall ticked louder now. 11:56 p.m. Josh backed toward the exit again. The booths shifted slightly in the corner of his vision, like the people were following him without moving. He bolted back to the front door, grabbed the handle, and pulled. It swung open into a different road, deserted. A different time of day, like dusk. He slammed it shut. "None of the doors lead back," the man said. "Not after you've seen them." Josh turned. "Who are they?" The man's face darkened. "They're what's left, the ones who didn't leave in time. Now they sit, and they wait, until the diner feeds again." Josh's voice cracked. "How do I get out?" "There's one way." "What?" "Run." 11:58 p.m. The lights dimmed to a sickly orange. The music from the jukebox slowed, turning warped and demonic. The waitress's skin cracked, revealing grey underneath. She opened her mouth and let out a mechanical, grinding howl. The people in the booths began to stand, all at once. Jerky movements. Josh didn't wait. He ran toward the kitchen, past the freezers, back to the pantry. He flung the door open and descended the stairs two at a time. The staircase twisted and turned. The air grew colder. The walls dripped with condensation, or was it sweat? At the bottom, a hallway. Hundreds of doors, each one labeled names, dates. Josh paused at one. Whitaker, Joshua, ETA 11:59 p.m. He opened it. Inside, a booth, a mug of coffee, a newspaper on the table, his face on the front page. Charleston man missing on back roads. He screamed and backed away. The hallway began to shake. The lights overhead burst one by one. A voice filled the air, not spoken but felt. Sit, stay, become part of the story. Josh turned and ran, down the hallway, up the stairs, back into the diner. The booths were now empty again, but decaying, rotting. The walls peeled, blood dripped from light fixtures. The waitress stood in the middle of the diner, her smile now a gaping maw. Josh sprinted past her, kicked open the door. Rain hit him like a truck. He was back on the road. His truck was there. He leapt in, jammed the keys into the ignition, twisted. It started. 12:01 a.m. Josh drove, didn't look back, didn't breathe until he reached a lit highway sign. Interstate 79, Charleston, 45. 2 days later, Josh sat in a sheriff's office, shaking hands. They'd found no diner, no foundation, no lights, but his truck was parked on the road, engine running, just like he left it. The deputy leaned in. "You sure it was West Virginia?" Josh didn't answer. 1 week later, a teenager on a road trip takes a wrong turn off I-79. He spots a red neon sign in the woods, pulls over, wanders toward the glow. The Last Stop Cafe, open all night. Inside, a new figure sits at the counter, flannel shirt, pale eyes. He turns to the teen and says, "Car trouble?" The end.